this weekend's game between Florida and South Carolina. Kickoff is set for 7 o'clock on Saturday night from Williams-Brice Stadium in Columbia. It's really a must-win game for both teams. Florida needs it, obviously, to become bowl eligible. They got to win 2 out of their last 3. It'll be tough against a very good Florida State team looming in a couple weeks, so they're going to need this one. And for South Carolina, they still have a shot at that SEC East race. Need a little help, need Georgia and Missouri to lose along the way, but they need to win this game as well. So it should be an interesting one. Florida, if they want to win, they're going to need their struggling offense to improve. It's been tough over the last few weeks. You can't really blame the players and the coaches all the way. You know, they've had some rough injury luck, losing their starting quarterback, their starting running back, and now with DJ Humphries again doubtful for this weekend's game, they're without their top 3 tackles with Tyler Moore and Chaz Green already out. And that's not a very good thing when you have Jadeveon Clowney and the South Carolina defense lining up on the other side of the field.
And you can't talk about South Carolina's defense without mentioning Jadeveon Clowney, arguably one of the most talented players in college football today. He's faced a lot of criticism this season for taking too many plays off, not being consistent every down, but he gets an advantage this week going up against that banged-up Florida offensive line. And let's not forget about defensive tackle Kelsey Quarles. He's second in the SEC in tackles for loss and already has 7 sacks on the season. The Gamecocks secondary has 9 interceptions so far, 2 of those coming from cornerback Victor Hampton. So Florida's offense definitely has their work cut out for them facing this South Carolina defense. The Gators looking to snap that 4-game losing streak.
And one of the biggest problems Florida's had during that 4-game losing skid is falling behind early. This team is not built to come from behind. They want to run the football, they want to establish a play-action passing game off of a good running game, but that's not something they can do when they fall behind by 2 touchdowns in the first quarter. So Florida really needs to focus on having a good start this week in a hostile environment in Columbia.
And for the South Carolina offense, it all starts with quarterback Connor Shaw. He's been great all season, completing more than 60% of his passes. He's only thrown 1 interception all year, and it doesn't stop with his arm. He can make plays with his feet. He has a great ability to keep plays alive. He's actually second in rushing yards on the team, averaging 4 yards per carry. And for the South Carolina run game, it's led by sophomore tailback Mike Davis, guy who was actually once committed to Florida during his recruiting process before deciding to go to USC. He's already got over 1,000 yards rushing, and on top of that, he has a great ability to catch balls out of the backfield, currently averaging 11 yards per reception. And this was a South Carolina offense that we thought would have to rely a lot more heavily on the passing attack because they no longer have Marcus Lattimore lining up in the backfield, but when you got a guy like Mike Davis, you simply don't have to do that.
And the key for Florida defensively this week will be stopping Mike Davis in that Gamecock rushing attack. Florida hasn't defended the run very well recently, and that's been a major factor in their 4-game losing skid. And it won't get any easier this week with Florida now without starting middle linebacker Antonio Morrison, who Will Muschamp announced Monday is out for this season with a torn meniscus. And speaking of injuries, Florida may also be without starting quarterback Tyler Murphy, who's still nursing a sore shoulder. If he can't start, we may see Skyler Morningweg making his first career start this week under center for the Gators.
And the Gamecocks have been great at home all season. They're currently riding a 15-game win streak in Williams-Brice. Kickoff is set for 7 p.m.